Well, thanks for joining us again. We have to start our discussions on AM Talk. I have as my guest Joseph Nia Dikoka. He's the NDC chairman for Greater Accra. He's also a consular general. What do you?
Belarus.
Belarus.
That's right.
Okay, and he's also a businessman and entrepreneur. If you need all the advice, you can also consult him as well. He's worried about the current state of the cedi's depreciation because he's into forex business as well. I don't want to ask him for that very business, but as far as forex is concerned, $3 million was flown from Ghana on a chartered plane, and you can see on the graphic sports vivid pictures of how the cash landed at the Brazilian airport, and then it was guided with tough security to the hotel of the Black Stars, and even some of the players receiving the cash. Cash is good. As for me, I'm not against cash, so can't comment much about it. Their next guest is Kamal Dean Abdullahi. He is the National Nasara Coordinator for the MPP, and Nasara Coordinator basically is in charge of organizing the various own goals and the various Muslim communities and making sure they are well up for it as far as making themselves also head within the rank and file of the MPP. And say thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
You're ready for the mosque?
Yeah, I'm very well.
Okay.
Every Muslim is.
Yes. On the front page of the graphic and the other newspapers, it doesn't look too good. It depends on how the report is. Chronicle says Seasa greedy stars booted out. On the front page of the graphic, it says money ruined a dream. Kwesi Nyantakyi is being quoted as saying, but fans blame it also on indiscipline. And we'll have on the front page, end of the road, it says Muntari Kevin sacked for indiscipline. And that's on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. I have to start with you, Kamal.
Well, let me say very good morning to the cherished viewers. And of course, I would like to say that on the eve of sighting of the crescent or the moon for Muslims to begin the Ramadan fast, and today is the eve. I wish all Muslims well, inshallah, if God willing. Maybe by tomorrow we should begin our fasting, as it were. I want to say I wish them well. Well, it was very, very sad to have our dear team, the Black Stars, bowing out of the competition. Frankly, bowing out not just honorably, but dishonorably. I would have to say that. Why am I saying this? As a citizen of Ghana and as someone who believes in patriotism, I want to believe that to a larger extent, on the part of the players, some amount of patriotism wasn't actually displayed because commitment was a bit lacking. That's one. Two, I would descend heavily on the managers of this team on this matter. In as much as we chastise them for not being too patriotic, because putting money at 4 is quite a problem, we ought to also look at those who manage them. You see, those who manage or who are charged to manage the team showed gross mistrust, okay, or portrayed gross mistrust between them and the players. And I believe that is the bane of the problem we are facing today. Now, Rod, you have a government. Even though, yes, some of the FIFA rules says that the government is not supposed to meddle so much in the affairs of football administration in your country, it is entirely them. You have a government who has been assured that, yes, some appearance fee will be given by FIFA for you to, for qualifying to the World Cup. I'm told, I stand to be corrected, that we stand to get at least $8 million from FIFA just for appearing. $8 million. And when you calculate the amount that you're supposed to give them as appearance fee to players, I believe that it will not even be up to the $4 million. $4 million out of the amount, not at all. So what do? Simple mathematics. You project. You have managers there, sports minister is there, his deputies are there, GFA, we have management there and all that. You sit down, plan, okay? Say, oh, how are we going to get money to sort some of these things out pending the money that is coming? You get a simple calculation. Then you walk to a bank. There is no bank you will talk to, and knowing that FIFA will be giving this money, and the bank will not finance this. We are told, in fact, that we have even a bank that is supposed to be the official sponsor, Unibank. I know the saddest part of it. Unibank, we are told, gave some cards, kind of Visa card or whatever I should call it.
For withdrawals.
For withdrawals of money there.
And deposit.
Only they got there, only for them to get there, and the card not functional. It's terrible. This is the worst of the president of GFA himself. So after they going through this and didn't get it, then they just said, okay, we are resorting to cash. If we don't see cash, we won't play. It means you first of all establish a mistrust. If you had communicated very well, say yes, we are handicapped, we don't really have money. When we go there, don't worry. But we are assuring you that by the time of 2 second matches or 3 matches, we'll be able to side them up in that manner. But you don't give them cash for them to get there and then they don't find anything. You quickly, tell them that there is something smelling somewhere. Therefore, they shouldn't trust you. And I sit down here and I wonder why. We have people like Chairman Adikoka, who has been in sports management for a very long time. We have people like Kodibons, who we talked of, what's the name, in Kumasi. We had very serious gurus in sports administration in this country. Iti Mensah who have done it. We've had people. Today, we don't even know who is taking affairs, in charge of affairs at GFA. We don't know who is in charge of affairs at sports ministry. And you see, to even make things worse, prior to their departure, a minister who is supposed to espouse patriotism, who is supposed to serve us as Ghanaians, will come and say, we have every right to send NDC supporters to Brazil. Painting the whole picture to look like it's NDC we're going to play the football. Yesterday, when they scored us, on a very sad note, many people were jubilating. I'm telling you.
In some communities.
Some jubilated. You know reason? Because there are some comments you make, and those comments never die out. Look at Rwanda, what happened? Just for someone sitting on radio and saying that this tribe is this, expect a genocide. So as a public officer, I am surprised that the president is still watching such a person to be sitting there. These are serious psychological, effects that it has on the players.
It's okay, you're on fire.
I guess we should blame them completely. The government they have no excuse to give.
Well, we do understand that. As far as we're concerned, when it comes to the issue of management of football and administration in this country, is the Black Stars, is the Ghana Football Association, and the Black Stars has always, as we've seen the last couple of years, remain topmost priority for the Ghana Football Association. Now, in going to the World Cup for 2014, having been to previously 2, what could we have done better on what we had done previously? Because we had a committee in place. There was one, I think, I'm sure...
6 committees.
6, right?
Yeah.
For various activities.
Yeah. Everyone, let me say good morning to my brother and your esteemed viewers. Today is a very sad day, not only for me, but for all the good people of this country. In the sense that we've invested so much into this project Brazil, as they called it. And we came out with 1 point. That is where we should be looking at. 1 point. Out of 9 points, we got 1 point. And that is a big disgrace to, not only to the Black Stars, but to all the food-loving people in Ghana and the diaspora. You can imagine the number of Ghanaians. I've got a friend, Abda, who had to travel all the way from it was in New York to go to Brazil.
Just because of the Black Stars?
Black Stars. He was in South Africa. He followed. Last night he called me and he was weeping that how come discipline broke down? Before it comes the money matters, discipline. And my brother rightly said, you see, the days where the government had direct influence on football
are gone.
The moment the FIFA came in and said that government should not interfere in football, that killed the football in Africa.
Why?
Because if government, at the time when the GFA was being, the president of GFA was a government appointee, right? Government will put people who have been through the mill.
And who will be answerable.
Right? Those days that we had no money, the kind of money that is being put in football, those days that there wasn't a lot of money, people were doing and sacrificing. That is where the patriotism comes in. That people were sacrificing. But here, there's money. So people who are going there now are going for the money and not the patriotism. That is why you have a situation where players are going to revolt. The days that you were playing for the love of country, the circle force, the circle fees, and those kind of the pride of wearing a national team, national jersey, was what people were looking for, right? But now it become commercialized because of money. My brother rightly said, he said there were a lot of committees were put up. What was the intent? What was the intention of members of the committee? Did they go there to ensure that Ghana succeed, or to go and make money?
Okay. If
you look at,
let me ask a question. For all the committees that were put up, indeed had been complaints 5 months back.
That's right.
Before we're getting where we are now. Well, it's as if people were seeing that things were not going to be done right.
Correct.
What didn't we do right? What should have been whose responsibility, and who shouldn't have been doing what?
What we didn't do
with your own experience.
Yeah, what we didn't do right is that we've got people who have been there before, people who have walked the talk.
But whose knowledge were not sought?
Were not sought.
Okay.
And I remember the minister at the last minute trying to bring aboard all past ministers of sport, all past GFA chairman and that kind of.
That seemed like a showpiece.
But it was too late in the day, because people sitting behind were realizing that what they are going to do, they're going to collapse. So tidbits that they picked up needed them to do something to give the impression, I'm consulting, but nobody was coming. It became family and friends affair. Go and check the membership of the committees. Go and check those who have gone to Brazil. They are friends, and they're not ashamed about it. But if they go and post them on the social media,
now,
so immediately you see, Muntari asks a pertinent question.
No, we'll come to the issue about discipline. No, we'll come to the issue about management of a team, and then with your own experiences, how players, because in fact, from decades gone past, any player who earns or anybody who has money has some level of wait, has some level of confidence, which is misconstrued to mean arrogance.
Okay.
That's what I mean. So I'll come to the discipline and management of the team.
Okay. So now let me continue.
Just conclude, and then Kamal will come
now. So the money matters. Before you take a team out of this country to go in a tournament, you have to resolve every issue. So when you leave the shores of Ghana, your focus is on what you are going to do there. So I was very surprised when I heard that players have agreed to take $75,000, and then when they left the country, they wanted $100,000.
I mean, somebody might have said
somebody
100,000 can be taken.
Somebody, right? Good. Now let's look at this way. The FA, this money is supposed to come from FIFA, and the money will not come immediately. It will come after the tournament when balances have been made. Good. So, as management, like he said, look, the brand Ghana, where wouldn't you go that you want money that they won't give you?
For the Black Stars.
The Black Stars. The GFA itself, they've got sponsors who are GMPC. They've got the Unibank itself. They've got some other small affiliates, right? That to raise the appearance fee
would have been a difficult problem.
So if you are focused and you are not thinking about how much money you put in your pocket, the first impression, look, okay, money will come. Because during our time, when there was no money, we were pre-financing the Black Stars. People were Nana Butler, myself, we were doing their bit. Because we know that eventually the money will come. But we know the psyche of the players. So before you go in a tournament, that psyche, you must be able to resolve it. So find the money and give. If you send, if the
got to the point where you're able to persuade players to even buy tickets and things to come.
You remember?
Yes, because they still say it in interviews after today. You're able to.
So it means that you, the managers, are up to the task.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I want to suspect greatly that the management of GFA and the leadership of sports ministry don't gel well.
No, let's not speculate.
No,
those are speculation.
Well, it could be speculation, but you see, there's no smoke without fire. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. If we have a president of GFA, okay, after all these unfortunate incidents at the camp of the team, coming out to explain and tell us that the bane of the problem is that lack of money was a problem. It means, back to your question, that where did the committee get it wrong? Laxity, okay, in terms of approach towards their work is one. Secondly, greed. Because why am I saying greed? If you have 23 set of players to make a team, and you have the gut to take $3 million plus getting money to charter a flight straight to Brazil, I ask a simple question: 23 divided by, 3 million divided by 23. Obviously, we are going to have remnant of $700,000. It's meant for who? That money will be meant for who? Okay, let's say all of them take their 100,000. 23 team. Okay, charitable to the coach. Maybe the coach is
no. Usually, the money is also shared for the technical and officials.
Sulley Muntari asked a question: what is their business? All these official members or whoever sitting, what do they do there? You understand? They are not there to help.
That brings to mind. I read this, and Adekoka, let me just read this to you.
You get it?
We'll come to the issue of composition of a team and how you manage people's egos.
Sure.
I mean, any management setup, and especially when it comes to football. Prior to the very exchange that led to the fisticuff, after which, well, we had Sulley then joining Kevin Prince Boateng to be sacked from the camp. We're told that a certain dialogue ensued, and within the milieu of all this, they were having discussions about how the cash should come and how they can share it as players. So I'm sure things might have proceeded and thereafter. Sure. Sulley says, what is the use of so many GFA officials and others here?
That's my question.
Okay, you are basically non-essential and you have no roles or duties here. Your numbers even dwarf that of the players. You receive bonuses for no work done.
Wow.
You are a drain on the government.
That's Sulley speaking.
You always make money on our back, and you see every tournament as a means to make money.
Wow.
And you have the vim to question why we want our money. Then this very gentleman, who we're told is an official of the GFA, Moses Parker, Ama, says, well, he intervened and said, please, your money will come, take time. The captain is speaking. So I assume the captain of the Black Stars was speaking because it was negotiations. Sure. Then Sulley then turned and said, shut up. Are you the one paying the money or are you the president? Then Moses Ama then reiterated or retorted, I won't allow you to include me in your list of victims. I am a gangster than you. So I guess angrily, Sulley said, so it means you can fight me? Then he moved towards Moses.
Yes.
And then Moses said, well, I'm ready for you. You think I'm a coward? He seems to question.
There's somebody to manage the team.
So Sulley said, so Sulley then picks up a bottle and drops it, I guess angrily. And surprisingly jumps and slaps Moses. Then he uses the F word. Then Moses also returns the thing with a blow. Then he also lifts a fork. And Jonathan Mensah holds Moses up. Then we had ACN and Co telling, ACN we were told sat there quietly, but John and Apia, they spoke down to Sulley and told him to calm down and things like that.
Granted this transcribed version of what happened.
No, you see, so far by experience, all the things that are speculated have been the truth. So we
very well, that's fine. So
even though they are denied, but now nobody denies anything.
Now, Adekoka said, managing people, you have a very critical role to play. That is, first of all, you ought to be a listener. You ought to be very patient. What I have realized is that there was a gap in communication between the managers and the players themselves.
How can that be? They're in the same hotel.
Because
they've traveled all along with same flights. How can that be possible?
Either a gap in communication or untruth was actually peddled to them. Because, do you know what? Someone had the gut at the camp to call the whole minister a liar. When he came to talk to them, he said, shut up, you're a liar.
That's also your bit of information you have.
I've had, yes. You see, you call the whole minister. That means previously the way you treated them, it's not reflecting on the grounds there as they see it. You see, and I'm saying that Ghanaians would deserve no excuse from this government, would deserve no excuse from the managers of the team, but rather to see a free Ankara and his team booted out of that ministry.
No, I guess
I will call for it.
I guess
you cannot. You can never do this to us.
I guess that's a very populist stance. If you have to assume.
I've cited Yamin's case prior to going to the Brazil. I have now looked at. We all saw it. The people we are going to use. Look, let me tell you. Why do you have a team psychologist?
To psych the team up.
We feel psychology plays a very major role. And see, not to let them lose their cool is a very important thing. And you, who is supposed to be an official member of the gym managers, you come to now lose your cool against the players who are supposed to go to the field.
Okay, we'll talk about how to manage the players and things. Now, let's talk about the money issue. Now, money is a big thing in football.
Yes.
It is not a big thing even in international football, because FIFA is going to get 4 point something billion from this very World Cup. So that's up from what they got in South Africa. So they are able to give every team, etc. But money is big business now in football. The English Premiership is an epitome of it. Is the most marketed. Okay. Now, the players receive more than they even receive at the international level. For example, Sulley, after his contractual renewal at AC Milan, is going to receive, well, plus tax, 2.5 million euros. Now, in the EU or in Italy, it may take about 500,000. I mean, if you look at the 25% or whatever it is, okay? So he has 2 million euros to spend on him and his agents and his family or whatever he wants to do with it. So it's not as if the players don't have money, they have money, but they know that they are in it for the pride and for the money. How do we make sure, with the experiences you have had, Mr. Adekoka, that well, when there was not, now there is, we are able to draw a division and make sure we manage the sentiments well?
Yeah, you see, it's leadership by example. The piece that you read is because when management of footballers go to mingle with their footballers, you have a problem. Like in a hotel, the players are there, they see the managers coming in, going to the bar, drinking, you know, sometimes they have women around them. Immediately, you lose the respect. Immediately, you lose the respect of the players.
I agree.
If the players see you as very strict and somebody who believes in discipline, when you ask them to go and sleep, if they've got millions, look, how about the other teams? You've got Ronaldo's, you've got, did you hear any of them in those countries talking about what you are talking about?
Actually, many of them are 20 times richer than their coaches. And then the officials.
You understand? Yes. So it depends on you who is managing. If I open the newspaper and I see the Minister of Youth and Sports drinking coconut and that kind of thing, have you come to play football or what? Even if you do that, you have to keep it quietly, secretly, that nobody will see. We are all human beings. Nobody is perfect. You understand? So that's the crux of the matter, right? So what Sulley was saying that, and the GFA came out and said they've taken 70 people, 70 FA football administrators to the World Cup. 70. Jesus Christ.
To money
to come and do what? If even they have taken, they have no business, because you've got a committee that is supposed to be running the Black Stars, unless Moses Parker is part of the management committee of that thing, right? So if even, like you said, the player said, the people there were even dwarfing them. So you don't know, and on television, you could see on the screen in the hotels, every Tom, Dick, and Harry was going. During our time, we used to take security, national security guys with us. And the player, when they are group, if we say, I have taken a team to Egypt, to South Africa. And when we say 9 o'clock, everybody should come down. 9 o'clock, everybody you will never see the players walk in the foyer of the hotel. No. Which means they are focused. You understand? So the whole setup, look, let's be honest with ourselves. It's not the matter of government.
Okay. It's not a governmental issue. It's a management issue.
It's a management.
Now let's come to the point.
Those who have been given responsibility.
You have been around players before. How critical is experience in managing the players? Because I mean, let me just also conclude my summation. The players we have now don't match up to the egos of Abedi Pele, Tony Yeboah, Sami Kufuor, I mean, Sammy Johnson. Is it Sam Johnson?
Sam Johnson, those guys.
Yes, those guys. For you. Those people, I mean, those are, they're terrible people.
Yes.
They're terrible.
Yes.
Because, I mean, they're imposing, they don't respect you, they have egos.
That's right.
How do you manage them? Even though you know there'll be egos in camp, how do you manage?
So you know that the players are supposed to get X amount of money. The first principle is to make sure that you've resolved that issue.
Whether it will come or it will not come, when it will come.
You have to find it. If, like you said, look, the players are just human beings as we are. If they believe that the money will come, and at the appointed time the money comes, you are okay. If the money is not coming, you say, look, this is a crisis, this is the situation we are in. But for peace sake, let us finish this job that we've come to do. When we finish, we'll attend to those issues. You dialogue, communication. They will understand. So, and what you want to do, you call the captain, you call the general captain, and then you sit down. And when you negotiate, you talk to them and you understand, they go and pass the message on to them. But if you yourself, you are not disciplining yourself. Look, players, you go to their rooms when they are, to manage players, look, the trick, when they are in their rooms, as management, you go there
and see how they are doing.
You sit down with them, you start chatting, oh, you put your hand on their head, you start cajoling them, that kind of thing. They then gravitate, oh, chairman by it. So when they see the chairman is coming, they stand up. With all their millions, Abedi and all those, oh, chairman, they have issues. The chairman, the FA chairman will call them, sit down. That was when Anabatla was chairman, Abedi or Jaula, they'll call them down, they'll dial, oh, Charlie, and then at least we are going to
even though you have egos in camp,
you have egos, you
have to manage them.
Because they can let you down. And that means that if you have been able to run a club, you see, these are the kind of things. When you are players, you've got players with different characters. Different characters. But you should be able to mind. So the way you radiate towards them, the way you show love towards them, they will reciprocate.
Yeah.
And that money issue on the field of play, to put the money, because they know that at the end of the day, whatever, the people that they are dealing with, they have trust in them, that whatever be the case, they're going to deliver.
Because I'm just looking at the character of somebody like Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
He'll be a handful for his coach. I mean, even on the pitch, he displays terrible character. So he can be, I mean, in private,
but yes, still we don't really hear a whole lot of things.
So how do you manage?
Like my uncle Adikoka has put it, you see, managing people's egos deals with excellent communication, excellent rapport created. You see, people think it's the money. You made a point earlier on that these are players who make a lot of money out there. I am told that even the Muntari, who is at the center of affairs, went to Islam in Brazil to donate out money.
Yes, true.
He went to give out money. So it means the money is not the problem. You see, there is a problem, which is fundamentally communication. 2, lack of influence on the players. You could not try your best to influence them. Rather, you want to say that I am the boss, I'm in charge. There. And when you do this, here's a gentleman who is even earning more than a minister himself. He has a lot of money than him. So respect will not be created. You understand? Like Uncle Adi said, respect is reciprocal. You give and you take. But where you want to say that I lord over you, when in fact he knows that we are just about 23 and you are about 70 people calling yourself our managers, and we see you flamboyantly enjoying coconut juices at the most expensive beaches. I am told that the highest...
And these days, media too is shared.
Yeah.
We have shared media.
The lowest you can pay for
everything
a
is WhatsApp.
Yes.
And...
The lowest you can pay for a hotel in Brazil is close to $60. The lowest. $60. The lowest.
And that one I'm sure
that is not even a hotel.
Shamble.
It cannot even be compared to a budget hotel in Ghana. A budget hotel in Ghana is far better than that hotel. It's still $60. Now, the highest you can pay for a hotel in Brazil is ranging to $10,000 plus. You understand? So I am saying that all these 70 people, which hotels are they in? Have we investigated? Have we found out? And these are players who see them walking around and having their cool and chilling out. And the players say, so we would have to come and die for these people? You get it? So some of all these things boils down to managing egos of people. So I think that fundamentally, we should get it right the next time, be truthful to the person, be open, and be ready to receive a feedback from them. Because they have issues. So when they raise the issues, be the best to listen and tell them by putting yourself in their shoes. Empathize with them, and you see you can manage.
Now, when we come back, what do we need to do in terms of the management aspect? Do we need to form a committee? Do we need to investigate? Do we need to do this?
We have to investigate.
Who has to take
Probe
action?
must go on.
And then you rope in the aspect about the government's role. What role do we then play? Because now, when it comes to Black Star, the next time we are coming to a president who is in power, no matter what we like, no matter how we want to say it, no matter how we want to take a look at it, we'll still need to go to central government to cough something out. After we get the money, we push it back to central government.
The first that should happen, the whole bloc should resign.
Who?
All of them.
Yes,
because
okay, the GFA is elected by,
it doesn't matter.
By Congress.
It's a Congress. The president should lead by example.
And say that I take the fall.
And I've resigned.
It won't happen.
No. I mean, this is the problem. This is what is killing this country. You know, you have gone to a tournament and you've come with 1 point. Oh, 1 point.
But a tournament in which you could have taken more than 1 point.
You've got 1 point.
You have the potential.
And you spend so much. But don't forget, from here, they went to Holland. From Holland, they went to Miami. From Miami, they went to Washington. From Washington,
Washington for what?
Yeah, they went for a soiree in Washington. From Washington,
was it part of the?
But but when he was reading the message, when the FA chairman was announcing their program, were you not listening?
Oh, okay.
Right?
I may dissent a bit on this position when we dissent heavily on the GFA.
No.
I would have thought that.
Okay, you let him finish his point, and then you can make it.
Not the GFA alone.
Very well. That's I would have. Where the
not the GFA.
The GFA.
The minister in charge.
Very well.
Who has disappointed the president.
Very well. The culpability of the GFA is very minimal.
Come to you. The minister has disappointed the president. The president appointed him. He has disappointed the president. And we are, NDC, we are just on the verge of what? We are just going to a period where the people that the president has appointed should be up and doing.
Oh, you are
right? Should be up and doing to ensure that this this president succeeds.
No, he nearly said
come on, no politics.
That this president succeeds. So I am an advocate for people that will help this president to succeed.
Okay.
So if they have disappointed the president, they should resign before they get to the
we understand you want to help the president succeed. What should we be doing? Do we need to have a committee that would need to do we need to investigate?
We need to investigate it. We need to set up a probe to investigate, and the findings. Look, the players are now going to talk. The players are now going to talk. You understand? Now they are going to talk.
Rhoda, you know why? Can I come in now? You know why I said I was dissenting on my uncle's view on this GFA?
The block.
First of all,
it's not necessarily GFA, but the block.
No, GFA, we have a case in court as we sit now, which is the JIDA issue, where someone sits there and say, I am the coordinator of JIDA or whatever. However, I am not responsible when it comes to monies paid to me, coming to me. You get it? So I am saying that the sports ministry handles the affairs of money entirely. You get what I mean? That is not to say that GFA doesn't bring some kind of budget and all this to them. They have to furnish them. It took the president of GFA now, Nyantechi, to come out and pour out his frustration in Brazil. Clearly. I'm not saying that I am in support of him at all, no. But I'm saying that the minister...
But that's not an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse.
You're the manager, so if you keep things bottled up, that's not an excuse. If you're a manager...
in charge of the press. You're in charge of the press. I tell you that this is what we are supposed to do it. Then you refuse.
No. Well, when you were leaving this show, you gave us the impression everything was okay.
So it's assumed.
If you had problems, you should have told us so that we would know that there are everybody told us that everything was perfect.
Politics.
The minister came from Brazil to have a press conference.
I think privately, all of you told me the thing was not. Especially you keep telling me that the thing's not well. So
no, I'm saying that when they were going,
I know they were assuring the public, but you privately you knew that.
Yeah, we privately, some of us knew that they were going to face because they were not doing the right things. They were doing family and friends.
Okay, now let's look at the team. What do we need to do? Do we need to... We can't say we have to disband because every team is disbanded. So the point is, what do we need to do? We have a crop of young people, a couple who will not be with the next generation or the current generation onwards. Maybe for the next decade or so.
Not just the team, but those will be looking out for... to the next in future. You see, if this happened to our brothers yesterday, would that happen to us?
Well, that's
first of all, we need to come out, like he said, leadership by example. Show that commitment emanates from the top first. Management, we are ready to deal with people and psych the boys up. But I'm telling you, these boys, these players that we took there, in fact, most of them, even when you call them now back to come and play Black Star, it will not be easy for you to get them.
You never know.
It's not going to be easy. Trust me. They may. I'm saying they may come, but it's not going to be easy. They will have to come with a lot of conditions. You get what I mean? Because of what happened. Now, those we are looking forward to use them in future, let's begin it now. It's not lost yet. Whoever is going to be entrusted with the management of our sports administration in this country, in fact, ought to know that he owes them a duty. Which duty is loyalty, truthfulness, and in fact, veracity of doing things in his administration. But not to come and shrug things over, then move on. So please, transparency is what we need. Let's go forward and get it. However, when we come home, I would like to see the Minister of Sports resigning honorably before even he booted out. I want to see his deputy Yamin in particular, who in fact is sowing a seed of discord among we the Ghanaians here. In fact, booted out completely.
That's politics.
It's not politics. It's very, very
politics.
Important.
Your last point is
my tax,
because he made a political
money is used in paying him. Therefore, I have the right to talk.
That's politics.
My money, I pay taxes.
Okay.
It's paid by my tax.
Point made.
My money.
He's not in the World Cup team though, so I'm wondering how.
Oh. Okay.
Now, the team, what should we do with the team? As a playing body, we have to move forward with the senior Black Stars. We have a qualification period that will be coming out. I think they're starting from October or somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's just about 3-4 months away.
You see, now, the psyche of the players now is completely down.
It's still down.
The psyche of the players is completely down. And you see, I believe in discipline. And discipline is a two-way affair. Was the coach a disciplined coach? Was the management disciplined? Was the players disciplined? If at this moment of time, right, you have the same structure in place, the structure that you took there and the structure gave you 1 point, and you are going to start the qualifying series, you have the same structure in place.
Trust so you are saying that we need to purge, overhaul.
If you don't do that, it happened. You see, it happened when we were in South Africa.
You mean for the African Cup of Nations?
Cup of Nations.
That's when the whole thing started.
Some of us came to speak about it, and I was insulted to the hilt because some of the sports commentators, they know where they get their I was insulted. if you can remember.
Oh, I remember.
There was an altercation between me and the GFA.
I remember
in the papers.
I remember.
Where I was there.
Somebody said you wanted to take up some positions.
Yeah. And I was there when I saw some of the players, the way they were behaving and that kind of thing. And when I came, I said it here.
All got to do with management.
The same. And the same structure is there. The same structure has taken us to Brazil. And you see, because the FIFA rules have changed, gone were the days when the government, but if the government was in charge,
but we have to change. As people, we have to change. In other places, we don't have government in place. And things work, so we don't have
those places where the government is not in place, right?
There are proper structures.
Good. The people who go and man the soccer administration, go and look at them.
Yeah, they are soccer people.
Yes.
They are football administrators.
Football administrators.
Not necessarily former players, but football administrators.
Who have no interest.
Necessarily.
But their interest is that the country's corporate image and the country football. Go and look at the structure of the people now in football there. Now people who have got clubs, right? When we were there, how many people have got clubs? You know, so the interest, and that's what Sulley Muntari is telling you.
There are a lot of interest.
A lot of interest. And all that we do.
I'm sure people even go there to go and conduct business.
Yeah, precisely.
Because you need agents who may take players from your club.
You've heard just about the scandal that has hit the GFA in terms of match fixing. All those things are.
It's not under discussion.
No, I'm just. You were saying business. I'm alluding to what is.
It's not under discussion.
I'm alluding to that.
Going overboard.
No, I'm not. But I'm just drawing his attention. That is another matter.
It's a big matter. So I don't want to discuss it.
You have to come and look at it. So you are asking me what the way forward, and I'm just alluding. When you've got that structure still in place, then I can't give you the way forward. My way forward is that look. We have to sit down as a nation and seriously just get out of our mind that government.
What timelines do we have before we get to the next qualifying round?
Look,
because it was starting in October, I believe.
Yes, unless I'm wrong. And time is of essence, right? And I'm saying
June, July, August, September, October.
If you have a coach whom the players tells you that his coaching method, his coaching regime, they don't understand. They don't understand.
He doesn't have a philosophy.
He has a philosophy. They don't have a problem. So if you are going to continue, use the same philosophy, and we
you're a diplomat. It's true. You see, he's only short of telling us that. I mean, the coach needs to be honest. I want to be blunt. That's what you are.
I want to say I'm just telling you. The truth is that when Kwesi Appiah was actually engaged, he was hired. I was one of those who actually never supported it. You know why? I have always believed in competency.
Could we have appointed a better local coach than him?
Very well, a lot of them, with vast experiences. You see, people just place premise their argument on the fact that he was a deputy to most of the coaches of the Black Star. Therefore, he has a lot of experience. I disagree. Some people do very well when they're deputy. Very, very well. But when you put them in the driver's seat, it's money. You see, I can actually describe Kwesi Appiah as someone who is bankrupt of ideas when it comes to even the technicalities of football. Completely bankrupt. Because you look at even his game, the way he goes about it, managing the game in place.
Well, that is when the game is in place.
It's in place. You just find out that no, even me sitting at home.
You can see that there's something different. No, you wouldn't have done better.
I would have done better. I'm telling the truth. Honestly, I would have done better.
This is not one.
I'm really not.
You are not managing one trendy team of this. This is not in Dafa Park. They are managing or Swat Park.
A commentator once said that a player missed a goal, and the commentator said even a pregnant woman would have scored this goal. So maybe I would have also done better. You understand? I think that, yeah, with all respect, let's treat our national team with some amount of seriousness and ensure that we move on with all that we need to be able to make something. I mean, it's been so many years of heartbreak, so many years of, hypertension and all that. So I think that we should try to get the right people in place. It is not to say go for a foreign coach, no. We can have a local coach who, in fact, is committed to the job and knows what he's doing. We have them a lot. They are sports administrators. They know many of them who can.
No, he doesn't play meaningful role again. He's been relegated to the background.
If he's patriotic through interjections,
he can't enter there.
I'm not sure he has mentioned anything to them. And
the cartel.
So talk to them and let's see. When you talk to them, they refuse. You have records. It's on records that I did tell you so, and you did not do it. So many of them who are repository of wisdom in terms of this, they can come in and help us out with some of these how to manage our teams.
Okay, you won't give me the way forward, but we need a team in place.
Yeah.
I think before September.
Yeah.
I'm sure by middle of September the coach would have announced his squad. Team.
Yes.
Yeah, his squad for the qualifiers.
Yes. And I've just told you, with what has happened in Brazil.
Well, he said that he was not going to resign after the game's press conference.
I respected this. this Ivorian
he should
coach.
be booted out if you know him.
I respected this.
Lamucci?
I respected him so much. He had a crop of players.
He's not an Ivorian, so he can easily resign.
No, it doesn't matter the color of or the country. It's a matter of principle. Look, Roland, if you don't have principles, I mean, you never
have to say I didn't get it right.
You didn't get it right. I'm relieving myself and going to come another time. Maybe then you go and refresh yourself, re-energize, and come in another fall. You understand?
Okay.
But what I'm trying
Let's move the discussion then. Do we need a local coach next? Supposing.
Listen, we need a coach.
Very well. We
need a coach.
Not whether it's a local.
Don't use the word local.
Very well.
If within this country, I can mention some coach.
If you are bold enough, mention.
Osam Dodu. Right? Coach Hini, the guy in there, Afrani.
He coached many of the boys.
So. And they have got rich experience.
Absolutely experience, yes.
Are they part of the...
Samade was part of it.
No, I'm telling him, you've asked me to mention them. Yes. And I'm telling you that people rich... Look, you can form a consortium of coaches.
Seriously.
A consortium
like the way the Brazilians do.
Yeah, a consortium.
So you have you have Luis Scolari,
yes,
but apparently behind him you have Zagado.
That's right. That's right. You understand?
You have Pereira. All of them are your team. All of them have won World Cups.
They are part. They are all coaches together.
Germany, for example.
I'm going to scout for you. That thing is not.
Germany, you have.
So when the time you start playing football in this country, we've got administrators. Look, my old papa, Yiti Mensah,
yes.
Doyen of football. You understand?
At some point, you have to know that the knowledge comes first, the experience comes first. Because at some point, you need experience.
Experience.
Yeah.
So
that is why you don't rush into doing things.
Yeah, so that we won't come and sit here this morning and start, because honestly, I mean, when you look at the people there, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves.
Okay, now let's get to the point and drive the discussion, because we have to, and we have about 5 minutes.
Okay.
All this that have happened. For example, on page 2 of the graphic sports, you have how the Stars got their cash.
Yes, yeah.
You have a picture there. First one, Brazil security waiting to escort the cash as the chartered flight landed in Brasilia last Wednesday. And then you have the cash being escorted through a motorway. I mean, we'll call it locally a motorway, but a highway, right? Okay, it's language is language. A highway in Brasilia. And then, well, when they got to the hotel, it says safe arrival. Security still closely monitored as the cash. And we're talking about $3 million in cash, in papers.
These are paid,
arriving at the hotel, and then you have the players. You have time to disburse. A player receives the cash. I can't really. Is it Kujwa Samoa or somebody? He received the cash, and then you have John Boy. He kissed the cash. I mean, and this was reported on Bloomberg, reported on the Dow Jones, and they're all financial media agencies.
Wow.
Reported on the BBC, reported on CNN, reported on ESPN,
all the international media.
Reported on Al Jazeera, reported on Sky, reported on Channel or whatever, Channel 4. Is it the one that broadcast? ITV, it was reported. And then when we come locally, it was reported all over. Multi TV, Joy News reported it. All of them reported it. What impact does it have internationally on our reputation as a country, on the psyche of the management of the country? I mean, to even give the order for cash of $3 million to be put on a charter plane to go to Brasilia.
It's sad, and I'm going to be very quick and sharp on this matter. Ghana is disgraced by this conduct. Ghana is reduced to nothing by this conduct, and in fact, Ghanaians must be irritated by now by this conduct. If you cannot manage a team of 23 players only, it then goes to mean that you ought to be indicted for all the happenings in this country. And of course, it comes to buttress the point that you cannot manage 26 million people in Ghana. Clearly. No, please. You see, because
that's the politics talking.
The forex market.
That's Kamal D.
The forex
National Nasara coordinator. That's you speaking.
Yes,
that's politics.
Speaking. Very well. The forex market as we speak today, where my senior brother here works, or my uncle here works.
You have 1 minute to wrap up.
Yes, yeah.
He needs also to wrap up.
It's depleted completely of dollars, which is a cause for this depreciation of the cedi.
You have 40 seconds.
We have $3 good million sitting somewhere that we could have even injected earlier on and get the economy buoyant. We didn't even know that. Only for someone to charter a plane, we don't know how much it costs. To get securities to escort, we don't know how much it costs. To get it to the hotel, we don't know how much that costs. All this comes with cost elements. That is why this thing must be investigated. And at the tail end of it, or the fate of it, you ought to come out and apologize to us. And the Ghanaians must show you and your team the exit, because you are incompetent.
That's why you brought the politics in. Okay.
Kamel Dean.
Reputation. Ghana's reputation.
I mean, for me, I'll put the blame squarely on those who have managed the system for us to be where we are today, in terms of the national team, in terms of the officers that the government put in place. Because if they had done their work properly.
Because a combination of we have the GFA and then we have.
Correct.
Okay, when it comes to Blasters, the Ministry of Sport.
That they should not have put in us or our president into, because the president is a caring president. And if the boys say they are going to revolt, right, and you see the need for that to stop that revolt, you are bound to do something. But they should not have forced the president to do that. And Mr. President, please crack the whip.
Can he?
Mr. President, please crack the whip.
He can't.
No, because these people are disappointing you. Because before they left the shores, they told Mr. President
Everything
was in place.
Yes. Because you know that he's trusted
He
them.
trusted them.
Okay, our time is up. Because I wanted to ask you, now the president has to intervene on everything. Now we are fewer short. I'm sure the president will have to intervene.
Yes, he has already intervened. He's giving instruction that 50 million.
Even though we have Minister of Energy, and we have a Minister of Finance who's supposed to do things.
I rest my case.
Right. Well, we're taking a break from here. I've had as my guest the National Nasara Coordinator of the MPP, and Kamal Dean Abdullahi. And thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Joseph Ni Adekoka, one-time sports administrator, is a consulate general for, is it
Belarus?
Belarus.
Very nice country.
I know.
I'll take you there one of these days.
Please do.
Oh, don't worry. Come on.
Okay. I'm registering. I'm bringing my passport from now. And he's the chairman of NDC for the Greater Accra region. His position is under threat, though. As he's threatening people, his position is under threat.
By
a certain gentleman, Henry Manley Spain.
I know you like that name. You see how they were Spaniard in Brazil.
We're taking a break.